So much progress has been made on our craft rooms. Now I want to share some organization hacks and DIYs with you in hopes that it'll just make things a whole lot easier to access in your craft room. So these are things that I have already done and are working really well, and some are going to be new. I really appreciate each and every one of you who have commented and given me suggestions and tips and ideas. It's not easy putting yourself out here there for all of this, and I'm just so glad that you have been so very supportive. So as mentioned, I have already implemented some of these that are working really well for me, so let me show you those. One thing I love to use are these wooden boxes. I get these from the thrift store. So I have like old whiskey boxes, and then like this is a library index card. This is a smoked salmon box. This is another box here. It must have been a gift box, and it's got hinges, but I've just got some stationery items in there. This works really well too. I like to pick up these jewelry boxes from the thrift stores and fix them up. This one is a really pretty decorative one. It's got a pretty little scene inside, but the drawers right now are empty, so I could use this as storage for sure, which I plan to do, but so far I haven't had a need for that one. But this one here I fixed up just last year, and I am storing my pressed flowers and some dried flowers and leaves in here. And that makes it just so it's a little bit more accessible for me, and it's really pretty and decorative. Here is another drawer system that I had fixed up a while ago, and I've got all kinds of nice little supplies in here, and I've even got them labeled. So I love this because it's got nice big drawers. Another thing I like to get from the thrift store are these ceramic containers with wood lids. Now this one's empty, so I've got to put something in there, but I haven't come across anything yet. But I've got these other ones. So I have this one that I fixed up. It was actually a really bright orange color. I like to keep some decorative beads in there that I've made. It's really just pretty and fun and interesting in there. Now this one is just all wood. I think it might have been like a salt container, but what I do is keep my wood burning little tools in there. Makes it so it's readily available and easy for me to find. I have this ledge behind me in my craft room, and I like to keep all kinds of decorative things up on here, but I also like to keep lots of different interesting jars, and I'll put my wood beads in there. Sometimes I'll have jars and I'll keep like artificial greenery and florals in these, just for easy access. Jar here that's got some branches in it, because I'm always using branches in my crafting. I don't know about you, but I am somebody who likes to have a mix of some practical storage, but I also like to have decorative storage. So that's why I like to use stuff like tins and some wood crates and different things like that for my storage. I just like the looks of it. I think it has a more artistic appeal to it. So I found this fabric file folder on clearance at Walmart, and I've got it pinned up to my wall, and you can see I love to put greenery and florals in there. It's a great way to use wall space. I'm so excited because I'm finding that I'm getting really motivated to craft again, and I am being inspired by all the different things that I've been seeing, because some things were hidden away, I didn't see them, and I forgot about them, and I'm like, right, I forgot I had that, and whoa, this is going to be such a cool DIY. So in my last video, I shared how I set this table up here. It's like a nightstand, but I put something inside to utilize the space as best as I can, and I'm going to show you what I did. So I took 2 of these Dollar Tree wire racks. I took some zip ties, and I extended this shelving space by zip tying and supporting the legs here and on the other side there. And then I also added some zip ties to the corner here and the corner here. That made it very sturdy. You could put one more in the middle if you'd like. I don't find that I need that. It's pretty sturdy the way it is. I have got these baskets. I got them from Dollarama. That's a store here in Canada. This will fit on top, and I'll show you. And then I have this one that slides underneath. So you can see how it's set up inside this night table. And now I've just added some extra storage. Okay, so this here is a new piece. Well, it's actually not new. It's old, but I just haven't utilized it. It is a wire file folder holder. And what I thought I would do is, you can see here, I have my laser cutting machine. And I really am wanting to try and utilize this machine. So I'm going to be putting this wire rack up here on my wall. Then I can hammer in some proper hooks to handle the weight of this piece because it is heavier. And then once it's up, I thought this would be a great place to store my wood blanks for my laser cutting machine. I love tins. I think they're just so pretty. And I think they make great storage for a craft room. So I've got like this one. Isn't it just so cute? And I store some different types of adhesives in here just for quick, easy access. This one I had DIY'd and it's really, really pretty. I did this one last year. And I know this system isn't for everybody, but it's working for me. Like these are just extra pens and markers. If you see something I do that's not going to work for you, then please, by all means, like adjust it so it can work for your needs. And then I also had found this one and it's really neat because it had tea in it, but you can see there's like 2 separate compartments on this one. But these are 2 empty tins and this one is so pretty. It's kind of shimmery. You can see that, but it's just so pretty and I love the scenery on it. And it was a tea box. This one is empty, so I'm not sure what I'm going to put in here yet. You can see it had tea in it. So it does need to be cleaned out, but that is all right. So this would make great storage. And then this one, I know exactly what I want to put in here. I've got this file folder holder that's like for like desktop or what have you. And you can see it's just full of a mishmash of stuff. Like there's different rub-on transfers and stickers, wall stickers. There's even like some fun foam in there. I want to take the rub-on transfers that are in there. I'm going to be taking them out and I'm going to be putting them in that tin that we have. So I went through my selection of my rub-on transfers and some of them didn't fit. Those that didn't fit, I ended up folding them over and then I taped down the flap. And then some too were loose in the packaging and I was going to leave them in with the cardstock, but as I went on, I was running out of room in this tin, so I ended up removing that sleeve and putting those loose pieces back into the sleeve and just cutting them down and folding them up and sealing them up according to my needs. And here you can see they're all in there now, got rid of some, and I'm so much happier with this. Here's my Cricut cart that I had done in my last video, and I've got some space on the side and I thought that would be the perfect place for me to store my Cricut mat. So I'm using some pant hangers as well as some command strips and I'm putting those into place. And my hangers have got like a felt tab on the inside, but I think the ones with the clips would probably work a little bit better, but I didn't have any short ones. I needed those hangers to be shorter to fit on the side, but I just sorted through my Cricut Joy Extra and my traditional Cricut Joy mats, put them into place, and I'm so happy that they are all together with all my Cricut supplies. You can't tell today, but this window lets in a lot of light, especially when it's sunny. And because I record videos, the light that comes through here or the sunshine that comes through here is just too much. So I have placed a shower curtain that I just picked up from the dollar store, and I pinned it up, and that diffuses the light that comes through here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to take these totes for the cube shelving and make them so much more sturdier so they don't collapse on you when you put some items into those totes. I got the totes and the foam core board from Dollar Tree, and these are readily available, especially in the beginning of the year. So what I did was just took the insert from the bottom, and you'll see that it fits one way really well. And I use that as my template for my foam core board. So I just traced around on one side and used the edge as the other side, and I just took my steel ruler and a craft knife and I cut it out. So you're going to need a total of 2 of those boards. I'm just making sure it fits, and if it doesn't, then just continue to trim it down as needed. So once you have pieces cut down, you can put the bottom in, and then you can either use some Velcro strips on the back if you wanted, but as I went, I'm like, no, this is going to end up taking too much room, so I decided not to do that. But of course, like I said, if you wanted to, you could definitely just add some strips to this, and then it will make those pieces removable as needed. What I chose to do instead was just glue those boards directly to the sides of my totes. This made it so much sturdier, and as you can see, I'm also applying them to the sides where they fold. It prevents it from collapsing. Okay, so you can see I've got 2 of these totes here, and this is the one that I used the foam core or foam board, sorry, and this one I didn't, and I could definitely feel the difference. This is so much sturdier. I didn't bother adding to the front here because there is a bit of like some cardstock or something in there, but yeah, I am definitely going to be doing that on all of them. And you don't lose very much storage space doing that either. So just to let you know, I do have a full playlist of all the different craft room organization videos that I have done over the years. There's a lot. I have learned a lot of new tricks over the years and how to streamline things better. I also share what hasn't worked. Yeah, I recommend that you check out that playlist if you are looking for some different ideas for your craft room organization. I also want to mention too, like, this is not the only space I have. I've got another section here in the basement that holds all my seasonal stuff. I just wanted you to all know that. Be okay if it doesn't happen overnight. This has taken me a while to figure out. I'm grateful for what I have. I love to use candy containers that I can upcycle as storage for my craft room. It's so affordable and it's great to reuse what you have. If you don't have a way to remove the labeling after that packaging, let me know. You can use the trays for some jewelry findings or whatnot, but you can see I use my container for some pencil crayon storage. They have these smaller containers. They're great for anything that you would like to store. I'm just going to put some popsicle sticks in there. They fit perfect. Stay tuned as I'm going to be sharing my full craft room tour with all the changes that I have made and everything all cleaned up. Tins is another wonderful way to upcycle and reuse what you have. It's so affordable. I rusted this tin and added some vintage cheesecloth that was removable. I'll have all tutorials linked down below. This one's covered in rocks, or you can even use some scrapbook paper. They are a great way to store supplies. Another option is to create your own spools for some string, textiles. This is a birch bark little tube that I created. You can use this for storage. Again, all links will be linked down below for you to check out. They are such a pretty and decorative way to store some supplies. So one thing too here, you can see I've got my paintbrushes scattered all across the back of my craft table, and they are always getting in my way. And I mean, I know I've got a lot of paintbrushes, but I'm not very good with my paintbrushes. I don't take good care of them. I either leave them in the water or I leave them out and they dry out. And I need a better system. So I've got something that I'm going to DIY and show you just to help me get my paintbrushes better organized. So since a lot of us have tin cans stored away for different projects, I thought it would be a great thing to use for my paintbrushes. So I'm just going to be removing the little metal tab that's on the inside because I do not want to end up cutting my finger. So I'm just going to cut that off. This is a great way to use up some scrapbook paper scraps. So I'm just going through my stash and then I'm going to just mark out this width that I need, and these will fully wrap around. I had already measured that. I'm going to just cut them down to size, going through all the different papers that I gathered, and now I'm going to start to adhere them to my tin. So I'm going to be using a selection of some tacky glue and a glue gun. And I run the bead just along the edge, and then I'm going to line it up on my tin and then start to wrap that around. You want to make sure you get that as even as you can and lined up best you can. Otherwise, you're going to struggle with wrapping it. And I did run into a few problems, but you know what? I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to make do with what I've got going on here. Added some glue here and there to adhere it. And here is my new paintbrush caddy. I had a Lazy Susan type container that I got from Dollarama, and I placed all the tins in there along with this jar that I had. You can see how pretty they are. I tried to get all my papers matching. Now I'm just going to go through all my paintbrushes, and I'm trying to keep like sizes together. And then the tall jar, like I had originally intended on using that for water, but I discovered that there was a weak spot in the glaze and it ended up leaking. So I thought, well, why can't I just use that for my taller paintbrushes? So that's what I ended up doing in the end. As I was sorting through all my paintbrushes as well, I got rid of the ones I really didn't like and were damaged in some way. And then I was able to fit majority of them. I did have to put a few in a separate tin, as you can see right here. Okay, I've got this all filled up. You can see how many paintbrushes I have. So I actually left these really big ones in this tin right here, along with my palette knives and a paintbrush roll. I have like some stipple brushes and a watercolor brush and spritzers in that one with the rocks. And then this is actually a utensil holder. And it has got just my junky paintbrushes. I am not buying this type anymore, so I actually need to use them up and get rid of them. These ones, I find that the bristles, they fall out and they get into your paintings or whatever you're making. So I'm just going to slowly work on getting rid of those. But I also store my rulers in there as well. I really hope you find all these tips, tricks, DIYs, hacks very useful and helpful for your craft room organization. Let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to cover. I want to thank you so very much for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.